Rob, talk us through the significance of all of this and what we've learned today.
Yeah, morning, Wilf. It is a significant development. This is tied up with Angela Rayner's living arrangements in Greater Manchester a decade ago. It's important to be clear about what the police involvement is, though. This isn't about the sale of her house or unpaid tax. Those are claims being made, first made in a book by the ex-Tory donor Lord Ashcroft. This is about where she was registered to live 10 years ago. Essentially, was Angela Rayner registered to live in the correct place that was her main residence? Greater Manchester Police had initially said that they weren't investigating that. They were then provided with more information from James Daly, an MP in the broader region as well, also the Deputy Chair of the Conservative Party. They had said that they were reviewing that and deciding whether to relaunch an investigation. Today we have the outcome of that review. Greater Manchester Police releasing quite a short statement that reads, "We're investigating whether any offences have been committed. This follows a reassessment of the information provided to us by Mr Daly." Mr Daly, of course, being James Daly, the Conservative Party Deputy Chair. So this isn't about what capital gains tax was or wasn't paid. I think there are still questions relating to that for Angela Rayner to answer. She insists that she has had legal tax advice that shows that everything was above board. This is about essentially whether she was registered to vote on the electoral register in the correct place. But the reason why those two issues are linked is because it all comes back to a question of how honest and transparent Angela Rayner has been in her defence of these allegations that were first made in that book by Lord Ashcroft. Because she has said that when she sold her house, it was her only house, it was her main house, and that is why she didn't have to pay capital gains. The allegation is that actually her main residence, the place where she was spending most of her time, was with her husband a short distance away in Stockport in Greater Manchester, where her two children also lived. So this isn't so much about the sort of, what's important here isn't necessarily the individual claims. The reason why you get a sense of sort of political jeopardy and potential for political damage here is about the reasons with which Angela Rayner has rebutted those claims, saying that that house that she owned was her main residence. That's why she didn't pay capital gains tax on it. You now have Greater Manchester Police looking into whether that was the case. And in terms of where it goes from here, you clearly have a couple of different options. If they do come down and found that she has potentially broken electoral law, that her main residence was elsewhere, but she registered to vote at a different address, well, that completely destroys a lot of the Angela Rayner reasoning and defence to this story in general, which is why it starts questioning her honesty and transparency over this. The other outcome, clearly, which is more palatable for Labour, is if Greater Manchester Police finds there's no case to answer here, actually you could end up with Angela Rayner looking in a better position. So in a funny sort of way, you've got a situation that's quite similar to when there was an investigation going on into Keir Starmer over allegations also pushed by the Conservative Party that he'd broken lockdown laws when he was campaigning in the Hartlepool by-election. At that point, he said that if he was found to have committed an offence, he would resign, he would stand down, he was cleared, and the whole story went away. There's a possibility that that might happen if Angela Rayner is essentially given a clean bill of health by Greater Manchester Police. Equally, if she's found to have basically not been completely honest or transparent about where she lived, that could really put the Deputy Labour leader's job in particular peril.